Hey everyone, my name is Pete Vaishnav and today I want to talk about web scraping. Something that's very powerful but honestly kind of a pain. Even for simple tasks, you often have to write dozens of lines of boilerplate code. For example, have a look here. This whole code is just to fill out a form and get the resulting table back. But for that, you have to set up Selenium, set up Chrome driver, tell the exact time to wait for before the site loads. Apart from that, you have to select the right selectors beforehand by inspecting the elements to know where to put the details in and where to get the resulting table from. It's tedious, brittle, and kind of exhausting. But we are in the age of AI now. So why not let AI do the scraping for us? Keeping that in mind, I present to you AnyAPICreator.space, a platform that turns your long scraping scripts into one simple prompt. It is a platform that completely changes how you think about web scraping. Instead of writing lengthy scripts, inspecting elements, setting a Chrome driver, you just have to write one simple prompt. Let us have a look here. The task was to go to Flipkart and give the price and brand names of headphones. And here is the data that we got back with just a simple prompt. This site takes care of everything behind the scenes, scraping data using AI, structuring the output, caching the results, afterwards saving it as well, and giving you back a clean JSON response via secure API. Now, let us take a look at how this works. But before we do that, let us switch to dark mode for all my Nocturne developers out there. First, you sign in via your mail. And after that, you go to the dashboard. After that, you click on Generate API key. And when you do that, you copy it. And keep in mind that once you copy this key, you will never be shown this again. Now, let us have a look at the documentation. Any API creator comes with its official Python package, that is Any API Creator. You can also have a look at it here. And here is the quick start code for using this package in Python. Otherwise, if you are not using Python, there is a direct endpoint specified which you can send a post request along with all of these parameters in order to get your scraped data. Now, let us have a look at all the parameters. The first is the task. The task is all the instruction along with the site that you want to be scraped. The next is your Gemini API key along with your Any API key that we just scraped. And the last is use cache. This is an optional parameter that is by default set true. And what it does is, your result will be scraped for the next 1 hour. Considering the fact that many of the developers might not use a dynamic API, they would want that once the data is scraped, it should be there cached for some time. And then after some time, it should be scraped again. In order to do that, I have given a parameter called use cache. Now, let us see Any API Creator in action. Now, let us try a real e-commerce scenario. Suppose you're a seller who want to check for what's ranking on Amazon for a specific keyword. Normally, to do that, you have two options. First, scrape it or use Amazon's official API. But sometimes the site that you want to scrape may not even provide you an API. But in Amazon's case, instead of having an API, it is paid. So now let's see how any API creator can do that exactly for free. So here we have defined our task to go to Amazon and give me the brand price name for the first 4 wireless headphones that it sees. Along with that, I have provided my Gemini API key and my Any API key. Now let us run the task. As you can see, we got our data back. Have a look here. along with brand Amazon, we got all the products that we need right now. Now, let's see the caching in action, but via a different route. Here, I have my postman set up for the direct API endpoint, along with a post request with my task that was exactly the same, my AnyAPI key and my Gemini key. Now, let's see what happens when I send in the request. So as you can see, the cache parameter is true and we get to see the same data that we saw earlier. When you are done with scraping and want to see the data that you have scraped after the caching period ends, you can come back to dashboard as all of your history has been saved into the database. The task is here. Along with the task, you are given a unique slug, which when put with a unique API endpoint will give you your data back. Or you can just click on the actions button here and you are shown your data again. Any API creator is capable of doing so much more. For example, you might want to scrape something off the internet, but there is a thing called CAPTCHA that has been stopping you. Any API creator is capable of solving CAPTCHA most of the times. Here is a clip of it doing so. So that was all for the tutorial of AnyAPICreator.space. I hope that you liked it and you will be giving it a try. Now, let us have a look at the future prospects of the website. So first of all, I am thinking of putting a trial button on the site itself, so when the user puts the task in it, he can see the actual response put upon by the scraper so that he does not have to use an API for a trial. Next, I am thinking of putting a non-headless version of the browser so that people can see an AI actually controlling their browser and seeing its thought process. So when an API response is bad, they can customize their task according to what went wrong. Apart from that, I'm also thinking of making better error logs so that the users can understand what went wrong and making a more stable version of it. At last, I want to conclude by saying that why write 100 lines of scraping code when you can just ask nicely? Any API creator, making an inner lazy genius proud. Thank you.